Okay, I know this might be familiar to some people, but this is the movie Hustle and Flow. It is a clip, and it is showing Tahara P. Henson, Tyron Manning, Anthony Anderson, and Terrence Howard. So it's probably just Terrence Howard and Tahara P. Henson. I believe there's another actress in that movie, Paula J. Parker. So that might be Paula J. Parker. There's also an Elise Neal. Isaac Hayes was in it, and there was a DJ Quails. And Ludacris, Haystack were also in that film. So if you want to, or you care to want to see that film again, or you're inquiring about it, that's what it is. But this video is not about the movie. This video is about exotic dancing and pimps. So Terrence Howard in this movie, he played a pimp. And in this situation right here, the women, they lived with him, and he kind of had them like do whatever it is that he asked them to do to bring in money into the house. And one of the women had a baby, and he eventually in the movie he put the woman with the baby out, and it was the black woman. And the one that was white, he allowed for her to stay. So I believe this woman that is behind him, that is playing the prostitute, is her name is Paula J. Parker, and she's playing in this role. She's playing a prostitute, and she has the baby. And there was also Tahara, or a Taraja Taraji P. Henson. If I'm, excuse me if I'm pronouncing it wrong, for those who are like wanting to be correct about everything. I may be the pronunciation may be wrong, but there was another black woman who was pregnant, and she was about to have a baby. And then there was also a white lady named Tyron Manning, and she had no children. And he had all three women working for him. So there are lifestyles out there where this is actually going on. Now, these actors or actresses were pretending they were in Memphis, Tennessee, and this guy, he was a pimp, and he wanted to come up big and be like a professional rapper. And it was just a matter of him getting a connection with another rapper that was already in the industry, and him giving his music to that rapper, and then maybe it would take off, be played on the air, and then it would take off. And I believe it did. But if you watch the rest of the movie, if those of you haven't, by now, I would assume more people have seen the movie. So this is Ice-T and Coco, his wife. Ice-T has had a history of going to the Players Ball, which is well known. It is like a pimps organization where they all meet together, and there's this big party of pimps, and they have like women who are prostitutes, and they have like a Players Ball, which they give an award to the I guess the whatever pimp that they award a trophy or medal or whatever to, whatever acknowledgement. And then you're gonna see 50 cents with some groupie lady. So what my point is that you have these men, and you notice that the one thing they have in common, they're all African American, or they're black males. And you'll have men that'll say that they want a wholesome woman, they want a God-fearing woman, they want a woman who is, intelligent. But when you look at these women, they don't seem to possess those types of qualities. It's more a sexual attraction, and whatever else in between, but you don't find the intellect aspect of it. It's more like the outward appearance, even if it's plastic surgery, like fake, like fake body parts. Maybe they are an exotic dancer. So let's get into this exotic dancers. There are different kinds of exotic dancers, and then some people are doing it for the money. Some people are in a gym exercising. I understand that. There are some women that go to a gym and legitimately they exercise and they do pole dancing for exercise. They're not doing it for the money, for the fame, for the glory, for narcissism. They're doing it for exercise, and that is all it is. And maybe they'll have a picture or photos. They have like a little group. They meet together, and it's fun. It's energizing. They meet new friends, and maybe they show their boyfriend pictures of how they are, how they've lost weight. That's a whole nother situation altogether. This is not what I'm talking about. You have women who are pressured into exotic dancing by a pimp or a boyfriend to make extra money. Maybe they have a drug habit. That woman, she may not be pressured by a boyfriend or a pimp. There is a drug habit or other things going on. Maybe she's a narcissist. She likes that attention. She's not getting it at home with other guys or whoever she's her significant other, but she gets a lot of attention when she's on the stage. All eyes are on her. There's music, her heels, how she looks, how she smells, her hair, and how she presents herself, and that is what is the whole idea of that. And some people get a thrill out of having all that attention. Some people are thrill seekers, attention seekers, and they have to have that type of attention at that moment in time. Some men are married or either boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, to these women, and they can't stand it. And it breaks up relationships because you have other people looking at what you don't want other people to see because you're in a relationship with that individual. Some people said, okay, I'm okay with it. You're making extra money. You're helping in the household. You're paying bills, blah, blah, blah. Others look at it. I don't want anybody looking at my loved one, her body, being placed on display out there, or his body. It could go the other way around. It could be a male exotic dancer. His body out there on display for everyone to see. And so this is what you see. This woman could be practicing. Now, you could look at it as she's practicing because she is practicing because she wants to be the center of attention. She could be a narcissist. She could be somebody that wants that attention because she wants to make all the money that night. She could have a drug habit, opioid, crack cocaine, powder cocaine. She could be somebody that likes that nightlife. There are some people who are enthralled and deep into the nightlife, and that is their thing, and that is what drives them. They have this innate sense inside of them that I want that thrill. They are risk takers, and even if it means that they could lose their life, they could get in an accident where they could go into a room and do like a private party and that person could kill them. It could be sadistic, crazed, mentally uncouth killer, somebody that preys upon women's desperation for money and fame and fortune of what sorts, and could use that as a way to take advantage of women who are really naive. And this is the total opposite. The only similarity, as you see, is the poles. These women, they have a lot of clothes on. They're exercising. They're in a gym. They are pole dancers. They are getting exercise. They are meeting for fun. They're having probably little parties. They're learning to explore their bodies and see what new possibilities are out there. They're exercising. The same thing goes with this. There could be a mix of people in this gym. This gym could have some real exotic dancers who are practicing before a show. And then you can have some women who are just practicing because they are trying to stay in shape. They're not doing a show. They're not strippers as a profession. They are just loving this music, this atmosphere. It's private. It is like a well, maybe not a one-on-one, but it's more like a private gym for women to exercise and to practice, and to be inclusive of women who maybe they do this as a profession, or they might be getting ready for a contest, because they do have contests with women who are doing this as a sport. Believe it or not, it is a sport. So this woman, I had to put her in here because she was very popular, I believe more in the 80s, 90s. Superhead, she was very well known for doing like erotic, exotic videos, adult videos with males and oral sex, making money off of it. And she has this book here. That's the entitled version of her book, Superhead Confessions of a Video Vixen. And she was in videos, well known, very attractive black woman, but well known, most well known for her skills, as in the street world they would say, for oral sex with males. So you have some women who love that attention. They love that. Some of it is because they want to make money, and they'll do whatever they can. Have a book, be on stage, get all that attention. Now, I didn't throw in here Monica Lewinsky, who was with Bill Clinton. She also did something similar as the video vixen that we just saw, Superhead. But I believe it was for the same reason. For the fame, for the fortune, for the money, for the book deals, and to be well known. Now, maybe I'll put her name in there in the bottom of this video, but right now the big epidemic is opioid. I know it was ecstasy, and the powder cocaine has always been a thing, and heroin. Those things are on the rise. Right now it's opioid, and it's the white communities. It's almost like how crack was in the black communities, but opioid is on the rise. And a lot of times you'll find these women that go to these clubs that will do this type of dancing because they're feeding a drug habit. And you will have boyfriends that'll pressure them into making extra money and doing this. The boyfriends are like the pimps, or sometimes you'll have a pimp that acts as the boyfriend, and he pressures her out there on the street to do this type of dancing, make extra money if she can't make it on the street. And then sometimes it's the woman herself. This is exotic dance.